Rampage Jackson losing his mind this week. Can we talk about this? Because this is something that I can't understand what's happening right now in this Raja Jackson, Psycho Stu, Rampage Jackson assault, and just the outcomes that have now kind of fallen out from the entire situation. It's so weird, and there's a lot of just like shifting of blame and not taking accountability, and I'm not sure how Raja Jackson hasn't been arrested yet, but it's just, it's the whole situation is insane. And when you look at, obviously, the person and the people involved with it, Rampage had nothing to do with this specific situation. It was Raja Jackson. It was Pro Knox Wrestling allowing him to do what he did, or putting him in position to do what he did. And outside of that, there's really no other blame to be placed. But watching Rampage respond to this and continually like point the finger at everybody but, I mean, honestly, his son for what's happening is baffling. It's so weird. What I saw was yesterday, Rampage put this on Instagram, so I wanted to read it with you guys. This is crazy to me. He says, this has gone too far. I'm sick of being quiet and letting all these low IQ people fall for clickbait. Yes, my son took things too far, and I'm pissed at him for being a piece of shit in the way he handled it. But if Psycho Stu wasn't drunk and wouldn't have hit my son over the head with a real beer can while he was live streaming on his own stream, then Knox wouldn't have felt like they had to make things right by letting Raja get his, quote, get back in the ring. So let's stop there. Number one, he's right about this, at least part of it. He is right that if Psycho Stu did not hit Raja in the head with a beer can, none of us are talking about this. That's fair to say. But to act like what Psycho Stu did, hitting him with the empty beer can, because that's what it was. It was an empty beer can sitting there. And he hit him with it, not in a way that was going to hurt Raja. Clearly led up on it. Clearly was him moving it to his head, not trying to actually hurt him with it. But no matter what, he hit him with it. But in no way, shape, or form was him hitting him with that can justification for what Raja was going to do later in the night. So yes, two things can be true at once. One, Psycho Stu hitting him with the can did have the starting point of all this unraveling. But number two, the unraveling was not because of the beer can incident, because that was apologized for multiple times after the fact, in which Raja accepted. He accepted the apology. Pro Knox telling Raja he could get his get back and trying to make this into an angle. Like, let's work, brother. We're always working, brother. They're a bunch of morons. A bunch of indie wrestling morons that thought, oh yeah, this will be a good angle for us to work because this kid's a live streamer and he's got an audience. So we're going to turn this into a work, brother. First off, the whole thing, even being a work, is insane to me. Because as soon as they found out that Raja wasn't a wrestler, wasn't trying to work, they should have went, you know what? It's probably not a good idea for this kid to be anywhere near a wrestling ring, especially after we just had an altercation. We need to, for sure, send this guy home or just don't have him involved with the show. Just don't do that. Don't have him involved in the show. There's already been a situation. Why make another one? He doesn't know what this is or how to, like, differentiate, apparently, so don't do it. So what Rampage says so far, you know, okay, he's pissed at his son for being a piece. I don't know what the low IQ comment was. I don't know what that was. But there's no clickbait in what Raja did, right? Like, Rampage saying, oh, you know, these low IQ people are falling for the clickbait. What's the clickbait? There's no clickbait. Your son tried to kill a man. That's not clickbait. That's what happened. All right. So that comment I don't understand, but him saying, you know, it wouldn't have happened if Stu didn't do that. Yeah. Okay, sure. But we continue. If my son would have just went to the police when the beer can incident happened, then the whole event could have gotten shut down and he could have sued. But no, my son is not as smart as I'd like for him to be. So again, I don't know this comment either. Like, my son should have sued for the beer can incident and shut the thing down. That's what we should have done. If that's how Rampage feels, okay. But I don't know how that has any relevance as to what was eventually going to happen. Like, we can all play Monday morning quarterback and say Raja, if he just would have not gone to the event, if Raja would have skipped the wrestling event and went and played the lotto, he could have won $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here? Sure, he could have gone to the police, but that was clearly not what Raja wanted to do, and clearly not what he was inclined to do. After they shook hands and Stu apologizes multiple times, Raja accepts the apology and says, okay, that's it. That's where it should have ended. Again, I don't know what Rampage is even getting at. Like, oh, my son should have sued them first. My son should have done. The point isn't, like, if Rampage is focused on the wrong thing, it's okay to say, you know what? Yeah, Stu should not have hit him with an empty beer can. And again, he didn't hurt him with the beer can. He hit him with an empty beer can that was clearly worked to look like he hit him with a beer can, so that Raja, again, according to Stu, who he thought was a wrestler, would try to sell it. But the real thing we should be talking about here is none of that. Like, yeah, okay, you're upset about that part of it, but let's talk about the part that is the clear wrongdoing and had no reason, no justifiable reason to happen at all. Your son, who is not a kid, and I hate hearing people say the kid, he's not. He is a 25-year-old grown man that took an opportunity that, again, I don't know what Pronox was saying. Go back there and get your get back. That took an opportunity. Fueled on by Rampage, by the way, and the kid's kick chat talking about, oh, you're not going to do it, da-da-da. Rampage calling him during the show and be like, I heard you was getting touched on by grown men. Clowning him for them to finally snap, go over the edge, and completely lose it and try to kill the guy. That hasn't been mentioned yet, but there's more. But no, my son is not as smart as I'd like for him to be. Now my family and I are getting racist threats because of all the misinformation posted so content creators can get paid from viewers. Now, first off, there's no reason for anybody to start being racist toward Rampage or anybody else in his family, right? There's no need for that at all. Racist remarks, none of that's needed. You can say that Raja Jackson is completely and utterly responsible for almost killing a guy, and that he should be treated like anybody else that commits, at the very least, aggravated assault, in my opinion, attempted murder, without having to throw racial epithets out. Rampage is more upset about his family getting the racist threats, which I completely understand, but we haven't even talked about the thing that people are upset about, and the thing that, obviously, Rampage, it's his son, so he doesn't want to have to keep addressing it, but he's on kick every single day, hanging out with whoever the fuck, going to bowling alleys, sleeping over with fucking Neon. You would think now would be the time where you lay low for a little bit. Now would be the time where, hey, maybe it's not a good idea to go out in public and do these IRL streams. We're going to have more people trying to bait you, rage bait and everything else, or just bring up the situation just like they did to Raja right before he went and assaulted a guy. So no, I don't agree with anybody sending any sort of racist comments toward Rampage or his family. That's scumbag shit. But Rampage is fueling this fire by continuing to act negligent as to what happened here and doing a lot of the finger point. Oh, my son was concussed from sparring. My son, he's not as smart as he should be. We get that. But also, you gotta own up to what he did. You have to. And I would stop addressing it if I'm Rampage. I would stop trying to talk about it because it feels like he takes the shovel out and digs himself further and further away from the truth, using more justification for other stuff happening either before or since. You can't get to the since without what he did. And just talking about what happened before doesn't address it either. But the more he keeps doing it, the more people are going to try to bait him. The more people are going to try to keep bringing the situation up. They're going to bring the assault up. They're going to bring up the fact that his son almost killed a guy and would have had the guy not pulled him off. Secondly, I'm going to cover something that happens in combat sports as atrocious as this. Why would I not cover that? Why would I bring a light? I would want to bring a light to this and showcase, like I did, Stu's GoFundMe and try to get more people involved in helping him and condemning the actions of Raja Jackson. That's the way this works. That's how any news coverage works, except we have the ability as YouTubers to also lend a hand by donating and offering up a place to donate to help Stu out. Because listen, I live in California. I know healthcare out here is fucking awful. And looking at the situation, I'm not sure that Stu has any health insurance. And if he does, it's probably not great. The point I'm making is this is kind of what I do. This is our job. Of course, we get paid from doing our job. Anyway, we keep going. People actually think my son just snuck in a ring in front of a live audience and picked up Psycho Stu without permission to be there. Get smart, people. It was staged, but Raja took it too far. See, this is the thing I can't stand. The only thing that was staged, and Rampage doing, again, he's doing this thing where it was like, nah, it was all staged. It was supposed to happen, but Raja took it too far. No. Incorrect. The only thing that was staged that Raja did was get into the ring. The moment he picked Psycho Stu up and dumped him on his head for a shoot, meaning for real, no more of that was staged. Zero was staged from that point. He slammed him on his head and concussed him immediately. That wasn't staged. He used an opportunity of things that were supposed to be staged. It was supposed to be something for him to get into the ring and have a little bit of a worked back and forth with Psycho Stu, but that's not what happened. Okay, he got permission to be in the ring. He did not get permission to slam Stu on his fucking head and damn near kill him. Those are different things. And again, to try to soften the blow here by being like, yeah, Raja just took it too far. No, he blatantly went against any of the actual parameters of pro wrestling and just did whatever the fuck he wanted when everybody else in the ring thought it was staged. So it, again, kind of makes it worse because they're all there. Psycho Stu's like, okay, he's going to pick me up and dump me here. No big deal. Stu is allowing him to do it. And Raja still slams him on his fucking head, knocks him out, and then punches him 23 times. It's not staged. It's not taking it too far. That's in the business, we call it going into business for yourself. In real life, we call it aggravated assault and potentially attempt murder. That's what that is. He only shook his hand and accepted Psycho Stu's drunken apology because they said he could get it in the storyline. Again, do you see like the drunken apology? One, I agree that Psycho Stu or any of the workers shouldn't be drinking before they go in, right? Shouldn't be doing it. They're grown adults, but shouldn't be drinking on the job. I agree with that. But what is the framing behind the apology? If Stu is sober, then he's not going to apologize? Is that like the framing of this? Like, oh, he was just drunk and that's why he apologized. Or his apology wasn't real because he was drunk. What are we talking about? The man apologized because he didn't know that Raja Jackson was not a wrestler. He apologized because he mistakenly thought something that was incorrect and did something that he shouldn't have. That's why you apologize for something. What are we talking about? Oh, hey, he was a drunken apology. And again, he only shook his hand and accepted Psycho Stu's drunken apology because they said he could get in the storyline. So if he didn't accept it, or what's Raja going to do in that moment? Is he going to assault him there? Instead of shaking his hand, he assaults him earlier? Is that the better option? Like, what are we talking about? He only shook his hand and accepted it because they were going to allow him to get it back. So, okay, let's say they don't allow him to get it back. He just fucks him up right there? What are we talking about? And then he says he was told he could, quote, fuck him up. I have witnesses that says this isn't the first time Psycho Stu had done some drunk shit backstage to a fan. Okay, well, if you have witnesses, then let's hear those witnesses. Let's hear what the drunk shit was. But again, Rampage is right that one of these morons told Raja that he could go and tag somebody's shit. That was that dude in the cowboy hat with the fucking baby oil all over him. The guy that thought he was a real pro wrestler. Stupid. Accountability needs to be enforced across all sides of this thing. That guy's a fucking moron, and I'm pretty sure they banned him from wrestling over there. But yeah, he's an idiot. But again, I don't understand this justification. Well, he's always doing some drunk shit. And he drunk apologized, right? He just keeps using drunk apology, drunk shit backstage. Okay. None of it justifies what Raja did at all. All this shows me is that there's a lack of accountability from Raja and now Rampage. If you're tired of hearing about what your son did, then get offline. If you're tired of trying to defend it or defend your son, then stop doing it. Be there for your son and don't be on live stream taking random days to go out and do whatever the fuck in public where people are going to eventually ask you about this. That's how it works. You're online. It's free game for these kids, by the way, that are in your kick chat and definitely in Raja's kick chat that are looking to get a rise out of you. Get off the internet, because shit like this makes it worse. Now we have the backstory that my son attacked an innocent military vet with PTSD, like my son knew everything about that man that came up from behind him and hit him, then asked him to sell it. He didn't come up from behind Raja. Raja was standing right in front of him. And first off, if you're going to act like, oh man, this is crazy. If you're going to sit here and say, oh, like Raja didn't know that man was a military vet with PTSD, it doesn't matter that he was a military vet with PTSD. That's just part of the things that he also deals with. If he was not a military vet, didn't have PTSD, and your son tried to kill him, he still tried to kill him. He still assaulted him. Like, the things that have come out after just happen to be who the guy is. Just like when Rampage said, well, my son just had a concussion a couple days ago. He shouldn't have been there. Okay, doesn't change what he did. Just like Stu being a military vet doesn't change what he did. It's certainly a nice thing to see that a military vet has an outlet for his PTSD and goes to pro wrestling shows like this to help with it. But it isn't the reason that any of this happened. Rampage is like, yeah, if it wasn't a military vet, then no worries. No one would be talking about it. No, we'd be talking about it because it's a sick act, man. It's assault. I have other kids to protect, and I don't take kindly to threats. Again, I don't think anybody should be threatening Rampage Jackson. But again, the nature of the internet is you're going to get these goofball kids that are going to DM you some crazy shit because you keep giving them opportunities and feeding the beast when you respond to stuff the way he's responding, and continue to be on live stream in this whole time while his son's going through this. And I don't know if there's going to be charges laid down from, I'm surprised there's not charges laid down from the LAPD. But also, don't act like Rampage isn't also someone that was trolling him on that same night. Not to say Rampage caused this, because he didn't. That's not fair to say. But he's also, that same night, you can see the dynamic between Raja and Rampage that night. The dynamic between father and son. He's calling up his son being like, yeah, I heard you was getting, what do you say, pushed up on by sweaty men. Heard you was, he was trolling him. It's like, your son's clearly upset about something. They're cursing back and forth at each other. And now it's like, oh, I'm protecting. I don't know, man. It was weird watching that. I said it on my video. I couldn't imagine, not to compare situations, and I'm not going to act like I know the situation of Rampage and his son, but I can never imagine dropping an F-bomb talking to my father. I can't imagine my father doing some shit like that, calling me and being like, hey, you know, and when I'm seriously upset about something. I'm not scared of prison or dying for my kids, and calling me names won't hurt my feelings. I mean, he made this entire Instagram post clearly because someone got under his skin. Like, when you tell people, oh, you're not hurting my feelings, while in a diatribe about, you know, addressing people that are either hurting your feelings or that are in your DMs, it falls on deaf ears. Like, you're responding to the people you're saying aren't hurting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do all this, clearly someone got under your skin. My son should face the consequences for going too far. He knows better. Okay, fair. We agree. That's all really that Rampage needed to say here. My son did something that he should face the consequences for, and from that point on, he will grow and change as a man. I can't excuse his actions, but that's still my son, and I will be by him through whatever. That's all he needed to say. My son will face consequences for what he did. He should not have done it. I apologize to everybody involved. He will change, and he will grow, and he will be better for it. If he just left it there is no more poking fun at him. There is no more, like, trying to get under Rampage's skin. It's that he keeps addressing it and keeps using little qualifiers for it that people keep getting upset about. That's why he didn't tell me anything about the storyline. I don't know what that means, but Psycho Stu is lucky I wasn't there when he hit my son over the head with a beer can the day after he got a concussion from sparring the day before. I wouldn't have cared if a bunch of pro wrestlers would have jumped me. I'm a father first. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Let's all learn a lesson. Keep your damn hands to yourself. So again, he goes from saying my son should face the consequences for taking it too far, but if I was there, I would have taken it too far. He's basically saying he would have assaulted him. What is that? What are you talking about? Like, oh, my son should face the consequences. He knows he shouldn't have done it, but if I was there, I would have done it. What is that, dude? That's just, this is what tells me, like, there's no computing to Rampage or Raja any sort of contrition or, again, accountability for what it is. You can in one hand say, my son should not have done what he did. I don't appreciate my son being hit over the head with a can, but what, you're gonna, if you're there, you're going to start swinging on everyone? This is why this stuff happens. He started off the whole diatribe here by saying my son should have gone to the police, and then ended it off by being like, if I was there, I would have kicked the shit out of everybody. I agree with him. People should keep their hands to themselves, mainly his son, but you can't justify this stuff, man. You just can't. If you get paid to do fake fighting, don't disrespect people that do this shit for real. Now I put myself in this shit. DM me now. What is that? Like, what does this end off here? Now I put myself in this shit, DM me now. DM you for what? Is Rampage gonna run up on everyone that DMs him, saying like your son needs to go to jail? Your son needs to face consequences for what he's done? What is that? Just take some accountability. Don't encourage this back and forth. If Rampage is watching something like this, just don't encourage it. Like, you're digging yourself deeper and deeper by being like, yeah, DM me now. Okay, for what? So you can run a fade with people in your DMs? You can show them what happens when they DM you? You don't keep your hands to yourself? What are we talking about, man? This is insane to see. Rampage, you just need to stop. You need to stop. You probably, in my opinion, he should get off kick and leave it alone, but he just can't. And I don't know why he feels the need to keep doing this. Everybody, myself included, can offer what could have, would have, should have happened in this scenario. But ultimately, what did happen was his son, after an incident that happened to him earlier in the day that was apologized for, that he accepted unprovoked, went into a ring and damn near killed a guy. And that's really it. That needs to be accounted for. I am a little bit shocked that there is no charges that have been filed right now. I don't know if that's something that the LAPD is looking into or what's going to happen with it, but Raja does need to face some consequences. Otherwise, what's the whole point of a system of laws? What's the point? If we can't see any sort of justification or any sort of justice served for what happened, what are we doing? I saw that Psycho Stu is now home from the hospital, which is good. But apparently he's still got some really, really bad injuries. But yeah, man, I just saw Rampage put this out on Instagram, and I was like, what are we doing? Like, how do we not learn throughout this whole process that the only thing that's going to make it worse is continually either denying what happened or offering defense for it or trying to cushion the blow of it or outright just saying you would have done the same thing. It's stupid. And Rampage keeps falling into this trap that started kind of this whole thing. Online kiddos being in his chat, DMing him online, getting his ego involved with this, rage baiting him, to ultimately he can't control it, and then he responds like this. It's bad. Rampage threatens to sue MMA Guru. Bro, first off, this is what I'm talking about. Hold on. I got to get a drink, but But look at this dude, man. We got wigs on. We're out IRL live streaming. This is why this stuff happens, dude.
I got people like MMA Guru telling me to stop streaming, and he's trying to dig up the past and stuff, and he opened himself up for defamation of character. He's a fucking idiot. He's talking about the time when I got in that car accident, and he's twisting the facts. Like I've already that's old. I already like did interviews about it and told everything, and I never was speeding. It wasn't a high speed chase. Didn't crash in the back of somebody going 60 miles per hour, and no one had a miscarriage that day. And only damage I did was hit a side view mirror.
I don't see what Rampage is gonna sue for here. And again, I just think this is all a bad look, man. To be his age, Rampage is in his 40s, live streaming with OnlyFans models. Again, he's a grown man, he can do what he wants. Doing these skits, hanging out with these younger people, and like, I'm sure he's making money. And by the way, maybe he's making money to help, you know, with Raj's situation, because they're probably gonna need some good defense lawyers here. So maybe, but it's just weird, isn't it?
You two seriously make a cute couple. Which one of you is the pitcher and who is the catcher? Do you take turns?
I'm not giving MMA Guru no clout. You know, he already has a platform, but he can't use his platform to try to tell me to stop streaming because my son did something that had nothing to do with me. Like, man, my life goes on, you know what I'm saying?
That answer to me, I just can't fathom. I understand that if things happen around you, even if they're detrimental, very detrimental to your family, that you still have to live your life. I get that. But what Rampage is doing right now is a choice. This is not life or death for him. This is not, I have to go to work, otherwise they're gonna foreclose on my house. You know what I'm saying? This is not something he has to do to keep the lights on. Or maybe he does, I don't know. I don't know Rampage's financials, but judging by the fact that he didn't start streaming until this year, I'd say he's doing okay without it. But to make this choice and to explain it in that way, like I didn't have anything to do with what he did, my life's got to continue. It's just a weird, it's just so odd to hear from a father talking about his son. Again, I don't have kids, so maybe I just don't understand it, but I know if that happened to me, my dad would be turning over every stone he could to try to be there for me. And it would be about me. It wouldn't be about him. You know what I'm saying? Not to be like questioning Rampage as a dad. I don't want to do that. But I'm just saying that whole like, well, it ain't got nothing to do with me. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Okay, but that's your son, you know? So it does have something to do with you. I just don't like that, man. I don't like it. He's not technically wrong. Like, he can do whatever he wants, but it feels like someone else said, it feels like he's treating Raja like it's a friend of his. That he's like, oh, well, it wasn't me, that was him. And yeah, Roger's a grown man, but it's your son, man.
Just tip $5. Thank you for last night, Diddy page. You taught me how to suck a mean dick. My shit is still raw.
Like, you see this?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, that's embarrassing, y'all. I know that I get trolled in this chat and we go back and forth. He's out in public and he's getting trolled and has the TTS on so he can make money in this weird, like, appeasing the young audience, getting trolled, like, humiliation shit. Because this shit's embarrassing. He's sitting there as this whoever donates money so they can tell him about sucking dick and all this, and he's just like, this is awful, dude.
Yeah, MMA Guru is mad because
Dubai King just tipped $5.
Because what I
bought the
said
Lexus GX, but still got no takeout.
He's mad because I said that his racism is showing. That's how I felt. That was my opinion. That was my
Scuba
opinion.
Steve 762. Just
I mean, I was right.
$5.
I already sent the video
The real Kato
of him.
just tipped $5.
The real Kato.
個解個個題沒按進撥對空。
What are you saying?
He says, you want to suck on my toes?
No, I'm sorry.
Bottom line, I think it's pretty simple. Rampage needs to lay low. For a while. What he's doing is not helping his case when it comes to internet perception, which I don't know if he even cares about. It seems like he cares a lot more than he says he cares. And it's not helping his son's case when it comes to the continual mixed messaging he wants to send on it, because I assume there's eventually going to be a court case. And all this stuff is evidence. All this live stream is evidence. And the more Rampage addresses it in the way he is, can't be a good thing, my opinion. But yeah, Rampage crashing out on a daily on Instagram, on Kick, on wherever, not a good look. And it's only going to continue making the Raja Jackson assault worse.